Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to Tony the Technician's channel. And today I've continued working on the Camaro. Basically what I'm doing right now, or for today, I'm going to be focusing on getting the wiring out for the headlights, or get it out of the engine bay, kind of run them back through the hole where the headlight wiring goes through, get them out of the way so when I paint they're not in the way, because that's basically the only wiring that's still going to be in the engine bay. And then I'm going to be unhooking the old wiring because it's speaker wire and I don't want that crap in my car. So I'm going to be cutting that out, and when I go to rewire the entire engine bay, I'll put brand new actual, wire in there. Then besides that, if you've watched my previous videos, I did remove the entire, blower motor and the mounting point and everything for the ducting and all that. I removed all that because I'm not going to be running my AC, so I got rid of that entire panel. I ordered my new one, so it should be in soon, but when I removed the old one, it left behind just a little bit of, the fiberglass from the housing. It's still stuck on the bolts because I just ripped out the bottom of it. So I'm going to go in with my Dremel, I'm going to cut that out and get those bolts out of there. So when I do get the new one in, I can send it and my front nose panel out to get dipped carbon fiber, and then we'll just continue wiring. But that's my goal for today, is to get those bolts out of there for the blower motor and to get the headlight wiring situated. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and if you enjoy this video, please hit that thumbs up, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Thank you. Okay guys, so what I've started with is basically this compartment over here, which is where your battery sits. And what I've done so far is just removed the relay that mounts right here. Just simple, you can just pry it out. And then as well as two fuses that mount up over here, which are going to be two 7mm bolts that hold them in, and then I believe like a 10mm bolt that holds a few grounds in over here on this bolt. And I disconnected that and kind of got those out of the way. That's what this is. And then the two fuses and the ground are these right here. That's what bolts to the side of the body. I've removed those. So what I'm going to do next is remove this power distribution block, which basically it's just power fed from the power cable on the battery, runs down to this little distribution block and feeds power to anything else that's plugged into it. But I need to move that so I can get everything out of here and clean it up and prepare it for paint, which it looks like it's just going to be two 7mm bolts, one on the top, one on the bottom, and then that'll be able to come out. So that's what I'm going to do now, and then we can move on from this compartment. Okay, so I'm going to start out with removing these two pieces right here. That's what I was telling you about when I removed the entire housing for the blower motor and everything. It's just left over on the bolts from removing it. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my Wen Dremel and just go in there with a cutting disc and cut that off. If you do have to do this, or anything with like fiberglass, or basically anything when you're cutting, you want to make sure to wear a dust mask and eye pro, because you really don't want to be breathing this in or getting it in your eyes. I'm also going to be wearing gloves because I really don't feel like cutting this and getting the dust in my skin and everything. So you want to be really careful when you're cutting this type of stuff. Besides that, I don't think I'm going to record it because it's going to be pretty hard to get in here, and it'll probably be pretty loud. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut these off, and then we'll move on to the wiring for the headlights and stuff. Okay guys, so sorry if it's hard to hear me. I got my fan going, I got my face mask on, but I've just removed the one, and you definitely want to be wearing your PPE, because this is all fiberglass that's been cut, and it turns into this ground dust, and you really do not want to get this on you or breathe it in. So definitely make sure to wear your PPE and be safe. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove this other one now, and we'll move on. Okay guys, so I got them both off. Just need to remove these bolts now. I should have stated this before, but basically what you want to do is try and break off as much of that crap as possible, because you will get big dust clouds. I basically went in and cut as little as possible and tried to break it to pieces and get it off. And anytime I had to keep cutting and it started to create a cloud, I just stopped, backed away, waited for it to settle and blow out of my garage, and went back at cutting it. It only took me about 5 minutes. But yeah, that's it. Now I can remove those and we're ready to start working on the wiring again. Okay guys, so as far as the headlights, it's pretty simple. I just ran the plugs back up over here because this is all going to get painted and I didn't want to get all this painted. I'm going to put wrapping over this and everything. So I just got it up here out of the way as of right now. And basically what I'm going to do right now is simple enough. I'm just going to cut these off because I'm not going to be running butt connectors everywhere. So I'm just going to clip the positives and the negatives and rewire them when I get to that point. But so there we go. Now I can get these wires out of here and this entire side is all cleaned up. Everything's out of the way. I can get in here with some cleaner and scrub everything down. I already vacuumed it up over here. Still got to vacuum the other side. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And then that's basically it, guys. I can get the wiring pulled out of here and start cleaning this entire engine bay so I can prep it for paint. But that's it for now. Okay, same thing on the driver's side. Just gonna kind of disconnect these. All the wires are tangled up. Just gonna get these out of the way, pull them back through. Of course, I went over. Those aren't going to matter too much because I'm going to go ahead and clip those. But then I'm going to feed this back through as well. Just pulling as much of the wiring out of the way as possible. Plug it back in so I can keep track. Which one goes where? Same thing for this side. Get that out of the way. Now we can go ahead and clip these here as well. Same thing on this side. Now I basically still have the grounds ran over here, so it's going to be a size 13 bolt. I'm not even sure if you guys have this. I don't even know what this is for. I think it was used to hold the vacuum canister for the evap system, but it's just sitting here looking ugly, so it's getting pulled out. So simple as that. Now the wiring is done on this side, and now I'm going to take my vacuum through here and clean everything up. Okay guys, so as you can tell, I got the wiring out of there. These are the red and black wire for the LEDs in the bottom of the headlight. I already got the other one over here. I put tape around it because I'm going to be pushing it through this hole, but the blue tape will remind me that this needs hooked up, as well as if I paint this area and get overspray on the wires, kind of covers up this part and it'll make it easier for me to tell which one's black and which one's red. I shouldn't have that problem, but it's always nice just in case. But check that up out of the way. Now, basically, after I get this cleaned, I still have the wiring that ran inside. Now, I don't know what the previous owner did here, but they had that twist nut like connector on there, and that's really crappy. Those are more for home use and stuff. But now I can clip these wires. These are the wires that I ran for my toggle switches inside the car. So those are mine, but everything else here was the previous owner or the previous owner before that started butt connecting stuff. And it's gonna be hard to figure out what goes to what, but this is the inline fuse that I ran. I'm just gonna go ahead and disconnect it here, and we'll be good to rewire when we get to that point. Okay, so got both sides cleaned up as far as the headlight wiring, both sides. Got everything vacuumed up as well, and we're basically ready. I removed the windshield wiper, washer hose, the power steering wire, the charcoal canister wire, all the headlight wiring, basically everything in these two compartments. And these wires are all free. I can literally fold them up on the windshield as well as all these. So we're basically almost done. I just need to go through and make sure I have everything labeled before taking it out, so I know where and what side it needs to go to when I put it back in. But it's coming along slowly, but we'll get there. Okay guys, just a quick overview before I end the video. I unmounted this bolt, which held a bracket that held the positive wire that goes from the battery down to the starter, and that was the only thing holding this wiring harness, to the body. So now I have it folded up out of the way, so I don't have any wires over here. This side is completely done. I can just focus on cleaning and getting ready for paint. This side is almost done. Another thing I have left to do is still remove the clutch reservoir and make sure I have everything labeled on this side, and then I can take it out and we can focus on getting this thing cleaned up. Alrighty YouTubers, so that's basically it as far as the wiring for today. Everything's basically done as far as getting it out of the engine bay. Have a couple small things left, but it's really just time to make sure everything's taped off and labeled. Everything that I want out of there is out of the engine bay. Then I can focus on scrubbing down the engine bay and prepping it for paint. Once I do get it painted, that's when I'll take all the old wrapping off the wiring harness and focusing on what I can get rid of and what I need to keep, and then putting them in the new wire shrouding. Then I can run everything where I need to, and we can get ready for the reinstall of the new engine as soon as I get my transmission in. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. We're almost getting there. It'll come eventually. But if you have any comments, please leave them down below, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Thank you guys once again for watching Tony the Technician's channel, and I'll see you guys next time.